Many times our intentions are not wrong, but our actions are wrong. Can this lead to bad karma?
Karmic process is not by physical action, it is by volition. What is the volition which propels you? If I have to give examples, just to put it into some perspective, see, you can take a knife and you're playing with the knife and it fell on somebody accidentally and that person died. This is one karma. Another karma is you were talking to your friend and he said something, you got very angry in a moment of passion. You threw the knife at him and he died. That's another karma. Another this thing is, you hate somebody, you sit at home and go on planning how to kill that person, but you don't do it. That is another kind of karma. Another karma is, you are, let's say, a surgeon, you took the knife and you're trying to save somebody's life and by mistake something happened and that person died. That's another karma. So these are all different kinds of karmas. So these karmas are not, in all the karmas, the same thing, the act is same, that somebody died because of your knife. But they are not the same level of karma because the volition is different. In one, you're trying to save somebody's life and it went bad for some reason. In another, you're playing and it happened by accident, the karma of negligence is there with you. In another, the karma of uncontrollable passions are there, that is there. In another, a premeditated process of murder is there. In another, you kill a person not once because you don't actually perform the karma, because you're calculate enough to understand if you perform this karma, what will happen to you. So you kill him 1,000 times in your home, not going there. So this is the worst kind of karma. You must understand it is by volition and intention, not by action. This doesn't mean to say you're free from action. Actions have their implications, all right? But karmic substance, how it gets imprinted within you, is largely by volition. Action can be of negligence, action can be of unawareness, action can be of passion, many kinds of actions. But karmic imprints, how strong or weak karmic imprints are within you is largely by volition. How much emotionally and in thought and emotion, how deeply you're involved in that. That makes the imprint. Even today, everywhere in the world, even the law of the land everywhere recognizes this, that a murder that happens in a moment of passion or by accident, and a murder that happens in a premeditated way, even the law recognizes that it's different.
Sadhguru, in his article, Break Free from Karma, has said, whatever kind of karma you have, it is a limited possibility. And that is what makes you a limited person. Depending on what kind of impressions you took, whether it was hatred, anger, love or joy, you accordingly have a certain kind of personality. Usually, every human being is a complex mixture of these things. Once you allow the karmic structure to build beyond a certain point, there is really no such thing as freedom. Every action you take is influenced by your past. If you want to move in a direction of liberation, one of the first things that you need to do is to loosen the grip and shackles of karma. Otherwise, no movement will happen. So it is very important to loosen your karmic structure first. How to do this? One simple way is to break the karma physically. For example, let's say if your karma is to wake up at 9 o'clock in the morning, you set up an alarm for 6 o'clock. Your body's karma is that it will not want to wake up, but you say, I will get up. Even though you get up, your body will want to sip a coffee, but instead give it a cold shower. Now, by doing this, you are just breaking the old karmic patterns by consciously doing something. What you like, you can do it unconsciously, but what you dislike, you have to do it consciously. So it is important to start doing things consciously. Although this is not the only way, there are many other subtler ways to do it.